Despite everything Kyrie seems like he did for the Celtics, despite how much money they paid him, Al Horford was more important and will always be more important than Kyrie Irving was. The Al Horford departure will hit harder than the Kyrie departure, and here's why. Before we get into this video though, if you're interested in NBA content or 2K content, I upload both of them. If you can go drop a like on this video real quick, or subscribe. If you're new, I'd really appreciate it. But anyway, let's get into the video. Hope y'all enjoy it. Do you guys remember all the hype surrounding Kyrie when he came to the Celtics? Everyone thought they're going to be a super team. Everyone thought that him and Tatum were going to go crazy. Everyone thought that team was going to be unbeatable. And they never even made an Eastern Conference Finals. And I don't want to say that. I do blame Kyrie because he had a good team and he couldn't get through it because he was a bad leader. Remember when Kyrie said he wasn't going to leave? Yeah. And he said he was going to be the last one to wear number 11. Yeah, that didn't happen. Now Enes Kanter's wearing it. But I guess to be fair, Kyrie was the last person to wear number 11 in Boston while he was playing, if that means anything to him. And despite all the flashy plays that Kyrie has had, because he is a very flashy player and fun to watch, he's not a good leader and he's not someone I'd want to have on my team. Don't get me wrong though. I'm not saying Kyrie is a bad player. I'm just saying that he's not really, how do I put this? He's not a player that's going to bring you far, such as like Westbrook or, someone like that. But don't get me wrong. Over the last 2 seasons, Kyrie has led the Celtics in points, assists, 3-pointers made, and wins over replacement, despite missing 37 games. And the Celtics' net rating was 2.9 points per possession better when he was on the floor. But as we all know, Kyrie has moved on, and so have the Celtics. They moved on to a better player, in my opinion, not necessarily skill-wise, but I think a better player who's going to fit. He's going to work hard in Brad Stevens' system because we know he's a great coach. He's going to work players into the ground and make them work hard, but he couldn't do it with Kyrie. I think he can do it with Kemba. Kemba, I think, is going to shine in a better position because we know how awful the Hornets are. Speaking of that, imagine having your best player is Terry Rozier on an NBA team, followed by Nicholas Batum and then Bismack Biyombo. Yeah, it's not a good team. I kind of feel sorry for the Hornets. I will be surprised if they win more than 5 games this year. Anyway, sorry, I kind of got off topic. But over the last 3 seasons, Kemba has been slightly less efficient, but he's also had obviously less help than Kyrie has. Kyrie has played with LeBron, he's played with Jason Tatum, he's played with Gordon Hayward, all great players, Al Horford. But Kemba with Celtics, he should enjoy a little less attention when his team has the ball. Defenders won't be able to key in on him as much or as aggressively when he's on the floor, especially with Tatum or Jaylen Brown or Gordon Hayward and Enes Kanter. Which could mean an improvement in shooting percentage for Kemba because, like I said, he's probably going to get more open looks, better shot attempts. Because with the Hornets, he was probably forcing up shots and not taking the best shots. But especially with Brad Stevens, a much better coach than whoever the sorry Hornets coach is. He's going to find him open looks, and Kemba's going to get open and knock down those shots. The Brad Stevens effect definitely has affected players in the past too. Isaiah Thomas plus minus before he joined the Celtics was 1.3. It stood at 4.0 in Boston and it's fallen to minus 5.8 since he left. And I'm not saying that his injuries and his hips didn't contribute to his decline, but a 9-point swing from one year to the other, it's kind of hard to argue that Brad Stevens definitely didn't play a role in that. And also Kyrie enjoyed a bump in his plus minus. Before he joined the Celtics, it was a solid 2.9, which was 32nd in the NBA during that span. And over his 2 seasons under Brad Stevens, it rose to 6.3, which is the 8th best in the league, behind James Harden, LeBron, Jokic, Giannis, Russell Westbrook, Stephen Curry, and Anthony Davis. It's also a good reason to believe that Kemba can also make that jump and become an even better player in Boston. I honestly believe that Kemba can become better than Kyrie in Brad Stevens' situation, especially with the Celtics. I think that Kemba can take them places and will eventually become widely known as one of the best point guards in the league if he's already not. We know he has the skill to, but we've never seen him play with good players. Back to what I was saying. Al Horford was definitely more important than Kyrie was in Boston. Kyrie was the guy that everyone bought tickets to see, but Al Horford was the guy who really brought him deep into the playoffs and helped him win more games. Al Horford's points and numbers might be down just because he had more load to share, but his numbers, like his BPM, which is the box plus minus, is heavily above a lot of other players for a reason. He's an amazing defender, and he's an amazing playmaker. In Brad Stevens' defensive scheme, everyone switches. Kyrie was an extreme liability in that position. Al Horford can guard 1 through 5. He was clamping up Curry. He can clamp up Joel Embiid. Now he won't have to anymore, which is another point I'm going to get to. Al Horford was a guy who would do anything for you on the floor. He would dive for a loose ball. He would shoot the 3. He'd go in the paint, work in there, grab boards whenever you need him to, dish the ball out. He is a 7-foot tall playmaker, defender, all-around versatile player. And Brad Stevens even said this: he's been a stabilizing force since he walked in our locker room. And I think that's the best way to phrase it with Al. He provides stability for all of us. Big Al was the glue to all this. Without Al Horford, I don't think this team wins more than like 45 games in a year. And also, let's be real, the Nets are not contending for a championship this year. KD, even if he comes back this year, is not going to be the same that he was. Kyrie isn't going to take this team of players that D'Angelo Russell took deep in the playoffs. He's not going to. It's just not going to happen, especially with the Sixers in the East without Horford. And on the flip side, Al Horford on the Sixers is the worst thing that could have happened to the Celtics. This team, or Al Horford joining their biggest rival and their biggest contender in the East, is a huge hit on them. Kyrie went to a worse team. Big Al went to a better team and made them the best team in the East if they weren't already. Starting 5 of Ben Simmons, Josh Richardson, Tobias Harris, Al Horford, and Joel Embiid is going to be really hard to beat. No one is matching that front court, especially in versatility and defending. And I mean, Embiid and Horford can both stretch the floor. They're both capable defenders 1 through 5. They both can play make. That team's going to be insane. If they need to stretch it out for Ben, they can. If they want to run the pick and roll, they can. I myself think that the Sixers are going to win 65 games this year, and they're going to have no contention in the East at all, which hurts me as a Bulls fan, but I know that the Bulls, still have ways to go, but we'll be there eventually. Dan Gafford's going to bring us the chip in 2 years. And also with Kobe White's huge hair, I believe in it, and I cannot wait to see how good the Bulls are going to be in a couple of years. We have the best young core in the league. I don't care what anyone says. But with that, that's all for me today. See you.